Hey everybody, it's Jason from the Texas Gun Vault 2, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful New Year's Eve. We got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight in the Garage Gun Talk. I'm actually out here working on updating some thumbnails, so I got some guns out that I have made videos on in the distant past. And by distant past, I don't think, super long ago, maybe a year and a half, that I think when the original thumbnails were made and I lost them on the original channel when they were all taken down, I was able to kind of save them from pulling them from Rumble and then trying to re-upload the thumbnail onto YouTube, but they don't look right, and the quality is a little bit less, and like the ratio is a little bit off. And so when I see it on some platforms, it doesn't look right, and I am personally not happy with them. So I'm going back and trying to fix old thumbnails. So I need to make a new thumbnail on this Tommy Belt Tactical TMP 9. And I also want to make one on the field strip. So I got to take this gun apart, take some pictures. And also on my 6-hour P 320 kind of custom build. I made a video on making this thing. And that was also an old thumbnail. So I need to update those. And then I wanted to talk about something really interesting regarding the Sig Sauer M17 surplus that I showed you guys yesterday that I picked up. I spent some time cleaning it up out here in the garage yesterday. I took some nylon brushes and I got down into the stippling, got all the dirt and grime out of it. I did not refinish anything or touch up anything, but I did take the entire gun apart, including the fire control unit, and I cleaned up everything. This gun internally was absolutely filthy. So when this thing was issued, or in whatever capacity it was used in the military, it was shot. It was definitely shot. And but it is like, as good as I can make it. And I did not touch up anything. I didn't want to touch the finishes on any of the parts, but all the grime is out of there. The trigger seems to work a lot better now than when it was when I bought it. But anyway, I cleaned it up. It looks really good. You definitely can tell it has been used. And an update, in that previous video, I talked about how I was kind of sad that there were no U.S. property markings on the frame or the slide or any of that like there are on many other military firearms. However, I found out after taking this gun apart, I was wrong. There is a U.S. property mark. It just says U.S., but it's actually on the fire control unit, and you can only see it when the fire control unit is taken out of the firearm. So technically that is the firearm, and they did mark it. So this is a U.S. property marked M17, and that's not on either of the other M17s that I have. So it is in there. So I was glad to find that out. And something else that I discovered doing a little bit of Google research last night, I saw that some people at auctions would have these guns for sale that were documented, meaning they had like Department of Defense documentation of when the Army received it, what units used it, how it may have been used, and so forth, all the way through its decommissioning. And I was like, I wonder where in the world they got that information. Anyway, I was going through a Reddit post and I found out that there is a office at the Redstone Arsenal in Alabama that does FOIA requests, or Freedom of Information Act requests, on military small arms. And they have a registry of military firearms going back to 1975. They'll look up any gun that you have or want to know about. If they have records on it, they'll send you the information. So I actually submitted a FOIA request on this particular firearm. And so hopefully I'll get the documentation on it. When I submitted it, it was kind of weird. It was like New Year's Eve, so yesterday night. And I thought, being a government office and that, I would, submit this email or whatever, and I would hear back from them maybe, middle of next week when everyone comes back to work. No, I got an email back from the officer in charge of the office, like within a couple of minutes, saying, okay, I need some more information. Something weird you have to put in the email that you submit the FOIA request is that you are willing to pay $25 or willing to pay a $25 fee for the information, but you have to type it out. It's weird. I'm like, I'll pay whatever you need, and you just tell me how to pay. I mean, $25 to get that documentation is nothing. but you have to type it out in the email. It's kind of weird. And then I got like an official form back from the DOD saying your FOIA request has been submitted. It has like a control number and all that. And there's 141 people ahead of me in line for these small arms requests. And but they said it takes about 3 weeks. And hopefully I'll get the documentation on this thing and find out where this particular firearm was issued and if it has anything interesting associated with it. So that was really cool. And if you guys have any MilSerp U.S. property marked firearms, you can let me know and I'll send you the information if you can't find it yourself on where you can go. But they said anything pre-1975 was a little bit hard for them. They even say it on their website. Like, I guess the records weren't kept. So if you have like a 1903 Springfield, they said they have limited documentation on anything going back before that. And also M9 pistols. They don't have a lot of stuff on M9 pistols, but they said pretty much everything else, 1975 and newer, they have in this government registry of the firearm. So yeah, it was kind of interesting. It might cost you $25 a firearm to get that information, but when I receive it, I'll let you know. So hopefully, when I get the documentation on this, it's going to be worth even more. But I also want to know where this gun was and what it did. So yeah, that's kind of interesting. I will say, talking about deals, I talked about how I got that Glock 40 Gen 4 on what I thought was a good deal. It turns out they only make those Glock 40s and Gen 4s anyway. But that's not the deal I want to talk about. It's this one here. I got this one for a good price, I think, because all of the other ones I see on Gunbroker, because SIG only released 3,500 of these surplus ones that were used, that they received back. And the prices on them are currently about double what I paid. Like, I've looked at the auction sites and what the end auction prices are. Not what people are asking, but what the end auction prices are. And they're anywhere from about $1,000 to double the price of what I paid for this. So I'm not sure if the store that I bought this from knew that or not, but I knew it was a pretty good deal. But the ones at auction that have the documented paperwork with it, with the information from the DOD, go for even $1,000 more than that. So I got the box, certificate of authenticity. Hopefully I'll get the documentation from the DOD. And I think this is a really cool historical pistol and maybe a really good investment. So paying for that $25 for the documents on it from the Department of Defense is definitely worth it. But I'm glad with how well it cleaned up. I put in the surplus mag that's been all banged up. So yeah, that's what I did with it. And I might have to find some type of case or display for it once I get that documentation. What else did I want to do? Oh, I wanted to open a couple packages here that I got in the mail. Now, one I was actually not expecting because I actually owe somebody some money for this. So his name is James, and he's from Santa Clarita, California. And I believe these are some magazines. I was talking about how I needed some magazines for my Mark 12 inspired build. And anyway, through our correspondences, he doesn't take electronic payment like Zelle or PayPal or any of that. And I was supposed to send him a postal money order, but I have been so busy the past couple of weeks, I have not done that. But he went ahead and sent the mags anyway, so I have to definitely go out there and send that postal money order ASAP because I had no idea he already shipped it, and so I gotta send him that. But I'm also a little bit sad because if these are the magazines, which I think they are, that means these things left California, which means these things were in there before the ban or whatever. But yeah, oh yeah, these are the PMags, the old style PMags. Yeah, exactly. So that's exactly what I was looking for, the ones that were straight walled. So James, yeah, let me get that postal money order off to you immediately because I had no idea you'd already sent these. I was going to get it out like next week because I've just been so freaking busy. But thank you for sending this, and yeah, that postal money order gets out like ASAP. Didn't know you were sending this, so thank you. This is awesome because I couldn't find those PMags anywhere for the 20 rounders, 5.56 Gen 1 or 2, where they're straight versus being bent a little bit. This other package, I think, I think this is just a light I have to review. I don't think it's one of those late Christmas ornaments, but just in case it is, I wanted to open it on camera and thank whoever sent it. So, yeah, I was bad this past week. I did not check my P.O. box like I normally do, even though it's like right down the road. Let's see here. I'll throw this over here. Yeah, I think this is just a light or a laser. I don't know what which one this is. I think this is a oh yes, it's another flashlight. Okay, yeah, so another flashlight review. This is a 2500 lumen one from Spirias. Spiris? Anyway, another one of those. Sometimes you guys like those product reviews, so that one looks pretty good. So we'll see. Anyway, it's just more content for my weekend videos. So that's what I got going on. So James, I will get that postal money order. I had no idea you had already sent this. I know we had decided on the money and all that. I've just been so busy, but I will get that out to you ASAP. I feel horrible now having these and not having sent that. So that will get out immediately. I guess Tuesday, because the post office is closed tomorrow on Monday, New Year's Day. So what else do I want to talk about tonight? I guess being New Year's Eve, there is something I did want to talk about. Oh, wait, before I do that, before I give my New Year's Eve message, I realized in yesterday's video, I forgot to mention the third thing that I was looking at the store. I mentioned that I bought this, the Glock 40, and there was a third thing I was looking at, and I was going to tell you what it was, and then I never ended up telling you what it was. It was a Colt M1903 reissue. Colt for a while came out with a limited production run of those little vest pocket like 380s that were like military officer sidearms. And I regret not buying one when they first came out, but they had one. It was used and it had been shot, but it was in pretty good shape. But I ended up passing on. So that was so that was the one that I did not buy because I know some people had asked. So New Year's Eve. It's New Year's Eve, and it's been a real interesting year here at the Texas Gun Vault, and hopefully some of you guys have been following my channel for years, longer than, especially my main channel, longer than just the past year. But it's been a very interesting year of having to rebuild. In case you don't know, back in January of last year, it's almost been a year, YouTube went on this weird attack on many channels across the board. A lot of firearms channels, even like the big ones, were getting hit with strikes for community violations on videos that had been up for a year, or years, I should say. And they had changed their policy on things like, oh, if you attach a light on camera to a firearm, like you actually show putting the light on, that was called gun modification. Or if you screwed on a suppressor, that was called gun modification. And it was a strike. And if you got 3 strikes, you lose your channel. But if you were a channel that had done this a bunch, like say 5 or 6 years ago, you got 3 strikes like that, and you were and there was like no appeal. I mean, you could appeal, but it was all denied. I tried to get the old channel back for a long time, and I had to restart. And it got me down. It got me down because I had spent literally about 10 years on my old channel. I started off as the not the Texas Gun Vault, the Fort Worth Colt guy. And the channel grew, and I miss being able to see those old videos because I didn't save all of them, because I could see the progression of essentially not just my journey through the Second Amendment and firearms, but a journey through my life, where I was at those times and everything. And I lost all that. And I lost like 50,000 subscribers. I couldn't mail out anything to anybody. I couldn't email, notify anybody. I just could not get access to that account. And I still don't have access to it. And but anyway, I had to restart. And I started the new main channel on February the 1st of 2023. And in that time, I have gotten back up to, I want to say, getting close to 13,000 subscribers in just 11 months or 10 months. And I'm really happy with that growth. I think it was a good thing in some way, in some aspects, because my new channel is way more organized, better playlist, better thumbnails. It's more focused on just firearms, product reviews, and some occasional political commentary or commentary on certain things that I feel need to go on the main channel. And then I was able to separate all that and put all this stuff on the second channel, where I can just talk to you using my phone without having to use, the main camera. It's all unscripted. I don't have to worry about stutters and misspeaking and all that kind of stuff. And I can just come out here and talk about this. I can talk about magazines and flashlights and thumbnails and whatever. And the people that are interested in this type of content can watch it, and without boring people on the main channel. So if you only care about the more professional reviews, you can just go to the main channel. If you like this type of stuff, you can just come to this channel, which of course is nowhere near as big. But if you like both, you can subscribe to both and so forth. So I like having that division. I feel like the channel is more focused and more organized than it ever was. And I really feel like the growth of the channel is faster than it ever was before. But I think that's the positive side of things. But I was really down last February because I'd worked so hard and I lost everything. And I always tell people that when you encounter me in either a personal or professional capacity, you're either going to think of me as an unstoppable force or an immovable object, in that if what we're dealing with is something that is very, very, very passionate to me, or I have established opinions on, I might come across as stubborn, but I'm an immovable object. Like, you cannot move me from certain things with a passion. And it's one of the reasons why I've always had problems with authority. If you guys know anything about me personally, I've always had problems with authority. Like in college, I always had problems with my professors when I saw them doing things that were illogical or irrational, and so forth. I just always had a problem with things like that. So my interpersonal relationship skills were not always the best. Or I'm an unstoppable force, in that when I get my mind set on something, and this is one of the aspects of being an INTJ, a Myers-Briggs Personality Type Indicator. One of the sayings about my personality type is never tell us that something is impossible. Because I'm telling you, everything is possible with enough determination, perseverance, intelligence, and hard work. Nothing. And it's a challenge. When you say it can't be done, that is a challenge, and it will be done. And so rebuilding the channel was that. It's almost like it was a challenge from YouTube, challenge from the gun world. And I'm on that. I'm not going to stop. And I work harder than I ever have at this. Not because I feel like it's a job, but because it's something I'm passionate about, and I feel like it's a driving force in my life, and it gives me purpose. But the other thing I wanted to talk about, talking about new beginnings and rebuilding, because here we are at the end of 2023, which is a difficult year for the Texas Gun Vault. I got a Facebook memory notification today from 7 years ago. And I had on my personal Facebook account. And I had New Year's Eve, I was playing a gig with a top 40 cover band at some New Year's Eve party somewhere in downtown Dallas. And I took this selfie. It was like my last selfie of like 2016 or something. And I looked very, very sad in that picture. And the reason is that I was going through a very difficult time in my life, probably the lowest time in my life. I'm not going to get into any specifics, but I was in a very dark place. I had lost so much. I didn't know what the future held. And I had to just face just a battle that I never thought that I would have to face in my life. And I didn't know what I was going to do. When I was in a very dark place, a very sad place, a very scared place, a very fearful place. And it's a place mentally I don't like to go back to from time to, because I will from time to time. And it gets me down, very, very, very down. But I can tell you 7 years later on the same day, I'm happier than I've ever been. I cannot express into words the blessings of my life in all capacities. From my professional life as a musician, I'm playing with some of the best bands and the best organizations and teaching with the best people I ever have in my entire life, to running a firearms YouTube channel, even though I lost my main channel, building it back up, having made such great friends and getting to know such great people on that journey, being able to review such amazing guns, to have such amazing subscribers. So my hobby or passion, or whatever you want to call this project here at the Texas Gun Vault, I couldn't imagine it being where it is. I had the best family in the world, from my wife and my kids to my family, my parents, my sister. While some of you guys might not want to be me, I don't know why, but I'm going to tell you I'm the most blessed man in the world. I'm the most blessed man in the world. And some of it's because of just luck, but I think a lot of it has to do with perseverance and hard work. And I just want to say that on this New Year's Eve, looking back at where I was all those years ago and where I am today, I want you to know that if you're in a dark place, if you're in a sad place, if you're in a place where you think things can't get any worse, I want you to know that brighter days are ahead. And the new year is a time for a personal rebirth, a reinvention, a restart. And I hope that if you are one of those people that are going into this new year in a place where you feel like you can't start over and you can't rebuild and you can't create anew, I want you to know that you can. The way that you feel is not wrong or bad, but know that tomorrow the sun will rise again. And whatever you created in the past, whatever you had in the past that was wonderful and great, you got there on your own, and you know the path of how to get there, and you can do it again. You can rebuild. You can do it. And there's people out there that want you to do that. So I know a lot of you guys are in good places and happy places and wonderful places in your life. So maybe this message isn't for you. But it is kind of for me, because I've had a few times in my life where I've lost a lot. I've had to rebuild. I've had to look at things and face evil. And it's just the way it was. And I didn't stop. I was either the immovable object or the unstoppable force. And it didn't get me down. And that's the way that I'm going to be for the rest of my days, no matter what. And I hope you guys are too. That if you're having a bad time this New Year's, this holiday, know that nothing can't be fixed or solved without, nothing can't be fixed if you have enough perseverance, dedication, hard work, and a drive and desire to fix it, change it, and to rebuild. It can be done. It can be done. And I'm rooting for you. And if you need any help with something, any moral support, anything I can do, you guys let me know, because a lot of you guys have been on this journey of helping me rebuild the Texas Gun Vault, and I want to give it back to you guys in any way that I possibly can. So that is my New Year's Eve message for you guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful New Year's Eve. Know that I'm thankful for all of you, and I really enjoy the fact that you guys join me here in the garage for my range reports, product reviews, and just me sitting here talking for the Garage Gun Talks almost on a daily basis. So thank you. I'm blessed beyond my wildest dreams. I don't deserve everything I have. So that's it. Happy New Year. May the next year be even better than this year. And I hope that you guys have as many blessings as I do. So let me know what you guys are up to for New Year's. If you had any fun and what your guys' plans are for the new year. I just plan on trying to keep the Texas Gun Vault growing. So we'll see where I am 300 and I think 66 days from now, because I think next year's a leap year, 2024. I think it is. But anyway, we'll see then. So here's to another year and making 2024 great for the Texas Gun Vault. And thanks for going along on this ride. So, I forgot the word of the day. Oh, darn it. I always forgot the word of the day. All right. So the word of the day, because I got to get money out to James for these magazines, which I totally dropped the ball. Didn't know he was sending these yet. And I got to thank him. Make the word, and also because I'm thankful for all of the blessings of my life, and I'm thankful for you. Make the word of the day. If you watch to the end, thank you. Thank you is the word of the day. The phrase that pays, as somebody says. So anyway, as always, thank you for watching.